Hello and welcome, my name is Ajaxpost and you join me here once again in Transport Fever 2, checking out Steve M4's early rail mods, and I am excited and delighted to tell you that as of the time of this recording, at the very beginning of October, it's just a few days ago that Steve released the final third pack in this set of mods. So yes, he's created 3 sets of mods. Early Rail 1, 2 and 3, going from 1800 through to 1830 and beyond, and they've all finally been released, so you can check them out yourself and put them into your game if you so wish, of course. I imagine if you're watching this you probably would like to use them. If you haven't already picked them up and you're not sure where they are, then I have them in my Steam collection, a link to which is in the description below. But anyway, before we get too carried away in this year, we're in 1826. Oh my goodness, I'm going to pause there because I didn't say 1926. I think every episode I've done so far, I have always started off by saying 1900 whatever. Gosh, well done me. Anyway, yes, before we get too far into this year, the time is moving along quite quickly. We finished the last episode on a bit of a cliffhanger. When we get into I nearly said it then, but when we get into 1826, we get 2 new locomotives to choose from. The Stretton, if I remember it correctly. Where's my notes? Where are my notes? It doesn't tell me there what it was called. I'll have to look it up. And the Chittaprat, the Stretton, I think that's what it was called, wasn't it? Is a fictional locomotive, but we'll see that in a second. But first off, I think what I want to do is work out which of my locomotives I want to replace. Oh, I'm running out of money. That's a pain, isn't it? Running out of money. But let's see which of our locomotives here we can change. We're only interested in the locos. So, Robbie R. Coltrane. You've got the Puffing Billy. You've got the Active. The Active, I think, is a fairly new one. That's possibly the one we were looking at. The Killingworth, the Locomotion. Oh, that's what we're looking at. The Killingworth, 1820. They're all Killingworths. Okay. So which one isn't making money? Train 5. That's you. Okay, can we... Oh, you're about to deliver, actually, so you might make money shortly. Well, when you get there, anyway. Right, let's have a look at you, then. So, if we go to replace this vehicle, and you are... Yep, train number 5, and if we come to edit you, it'd be cheaper to edit the locomotive and replace that, rather than sort of rebuild the entire train, the entire consist. So let's have a look at our locomotives. It is currently running the Killingworth 1820, which is this one here, which has a maximum speed of 20 and a power of 30. The Stretton. Yes, I was mispronouncing it slightly. So yeah, this is a engine that was designed or drawn up but never actually built. So it's fictional in that sense. Oh, this one goes a bit slower, but it is more powerful. Oh, that's interesting. In which case, I'm thinking we might use one of the other lines. So that's the Stretton, and the Chittaprat here is faster. Okay, we'll use the Chittaprat then for this one. So yeah, let's replace Train 5 with the Chittaprat, because I want it to go reasonably fast, I think, and have a reasonable amount of power. Or do I... Yes, we'll do it this way around. I'm trying to make a decision on which is the most efficient use of my resources, of my limited budget. Because the Stretton is very powerful, so it is quite expensive. Yeah, because it is 30 kilowatts of power as opposed to 19 or 20 or whatever the other locos have. So, okay, we can use the Chittaprat, and as usual, Steve being a bit knowledgeable, that's the best way of putting it, about these old locomotives and the like, has put in a fair amount of descriptive text here for people like me who have no idea about the real history of our railways. Has put in some extra description here for each of the mods, so you have got some idea of quite where they come from and what they were doing at that particular point in time. So this is an onomatopoeic name, because apparently as it rumbled along the railway, the Stockton and Darlington, obviously, it made a sort of chuntering chitter-prat, chitter-prat, chitter-prat kind of noise. Cool. We're so imaginative, us Brits, aren't we, when we name things. Right, let's get on with this. Let's replace this train. So I'm replacing the Killingworth 1820, which is 20 but 13 kilowatt, with a 23 by 19. Yep, that's a good choice, I reckon. So we will take the loco out. We'll put the Chittaprat in. It'll cost me just 33. And modify. There it goes. So let's have a look at our new loco hall. Oh wow! So it's got two carriages for the fuel, presumably. Tenders. I think that's what they're called, isn't it? Yeah. I love the red loco, the red wheels. And again, the engine, the mechanics of how it works. So whereas, let's just stop that for a second. If we look at whichever one this is, this has got, yeah, so they're all combined here, aren't they, over the boiler, as you can see there. Whereas on the Chittaprat, they're kind of separated out. I imagine there's some linking rods or something which connects them. Lovely. Okay, let's have a quick, slightly closer look. Let's take ourselves into camera mode. And let's get right up close. Oh, that's very close. There he is. Very nice indeed. As he heads off into the distance. Okay, so that's the Chittaprat. I'll just pause that again there. We're getting into August already, so I don't want to run out of time, because running up to 1830 we're going to get new engines, I think, every year. So we need to get things done. Okay, I've now got 200,000 in the bank. I'm going to have to cheat a little bit and actually take out more money, I think, to afford the things I want to do. So that Stretton has a lot of power, but he's not terribly fast, if I remember right. So let's go back into the depot. So the Stretton here, 17. Oh, actually, that's not too bad, 17. I wonder then if you'll be a good replacement for the Puffing Billy over here. So this is our Robbie the coal train. So you're going at 13 and your power is... Oh yeah, I think this would be a good replacement for Puffin Billy. Definitely. So if we come in here... I mean, there is loads of coal here to take into the power station, so that makes sense. So the Puffing Billy, there you are. 13, 15, 4.4... compared to 17. Yeah, but it is very expensive. But if we take lots of coal, we should be able to keep turning a profit on this line. Yeah, there you go. We'll add you in, just 82,000. Actually, I could add another wagon to this. I'm using the mini wagonway wagons. Now, the slight issue I have with the wagons here is their speeds are very, very different and not entirely compatible with the locomotives we have at this point in time. So for example, our most modern wagons here go at 29 or 26. I'm sure I saw some that went to 26. You go at 29. The iron ones go at 26, which actually, you know, it's much faster than this one, which goes at 17, doesn't it? But yeah, the locos don't go quite that fast yet. Although, of course, the Chittaprat goes at 23, so that could work for this. But no, we'll leave that. So we're kind of stuck with these much slower wagons, which are actually also quite expensive because they carry so much. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to add another one of you on. Okay, so your speed is still going to be 15. I'm going to take most of my bank balance. There you go. So this is the fictional Stretton. Well, you see, he's got the overhead rods on that, hasn't he? Again, a lovely looking model. Actually, if I click on it and follow it, I'll get a better look at it. Lovely. Just the one tender and the one driver engineer. Interesting sound. Interesting sound. There you go. So we're coming into September. I'm going to roll forward a little bit, hopefully make some more money. If not, I'll take another loan from the bank and we'll see what 1827 brings. We're heading into 1827, following our Chittaprat, heading into our oil refinery. It's not exactly time relevant, but there you go. The Royal George is our new locomotive. Just the one then for 1827. Let's have a look in our depot and see what we can make of this new loco. So it's another Stockton and Darlington Railway model, presumably. Ah, there it is, the Royal George. A similar sort of front and back tender design we saw with the Chittaprat. The Royal George. Always the first. Now, again, this means not a great deal to me, I'm afraid. But yeah, the wheel arrangement, 060. Apparently, this was the world's first with 6 wheels in the middle there. A very common arrangement for the future. And Steve gives us some more information. Apparently, the Royal George would have probably in reality topped out at 8 miles an hour in terms of speed. But for balance and for usefulness within the game, he's giving us a buffed speed of 20 miles an hour. It's, oh my goodness, 75 kilowatts. That is powerful as well, and therefore expensive. Yikes. Now what I'm thinking is, in terms of my actual routes and profitability, as if I'm playing this game for real, as it were, as a game, then I am not getting enough of this crude oil down here to the refinery, which means that my oil refinery here, my fuel refinery, though it's creating a fair amount because I've got slow trains taking the oil up to King's Oak, it's not getting enough crude in here. So yeah, you see it's waiting, and the next train coming down is there. You are 23 years old and you are the active. Okay, could replace you and increase your capacity perhaps. Let's try that then. So we're going to replace train 1. We're going to, actually I'm going to need to take more money out of the bank. Bear with me a moment. Right, I've taken a cool million out just in case I want to get carried away and start spending big. So this is, so what wagon you're carrying? You're taking the tramway wagons, are you? So the Royal George only goes 20, but that's fine. So we will take you away, which is faster than they go at the moment anyway. But I think the speed here, is limited by the cargo wagons. So if we add in the Royal George, okay, it's going to cost me 217, and so it's nearly 800,000 per vehicle. Gosh, these are expensive. But then we're using these wagons, which are expensive because they carry so much. Now, we've got the tramway and we've got the mini wagons. What's the difference? Oh, you actually carry a bit more, don't you? What if I take you away and put you in to give me the 48? And that's going to cost me a lot. Well, yeah, let's do it. The speed is still 15, but what the heck. There you go. Slightly newer wagons. Still very old and very slow. But is that our Royal George? Nope, that's the other one. Oh no, that is the Royal George. Yes, it's just got a barrel on the back, that's all, as opposed to a standard tender box, like we see in the front box there. Ah! Do you think that is beer supplies, or rum, or whiskey, or something? I would have thought beer was more appropriate for your working railwayman. Very nice indeed. Again, love that. That's the bright red engines, and actually, this smoke is very white, very clean compared to the other locos. I wonder if that's a touch of reality as well, or maybe it's just the regalness, the royal nature of it, that makes the smoke that much cleaner. Excellent. Shall we see if we can get up a little bit closer to the wagon? Ah, interesting. Where are they? Oh yes, there's no sort of overarching rods or levers or cranks or whatever here. It's all down here. So this is an interesting new design then. Fabulous. Let's get rid of that. Let's follow the train so we can actually see it as it moves, if not terribly close. Oh, that's much more compact than the other ones, isn't it? I'm just intrigued by that barrel at the back, really, to be honest. So, okay, hopefully I'll carry on earning money, and we'll see what comes in 1828. As we hit Christmas in 1827, just following my one and only passenger wagon at the moment, travelling with a whole 20 miles an hour. Wow, the Lancashire Witch has turned up. Oh, and a two-chimney version, presumably. 25 miles an hour. And the Twin Sisters going at 22. Curious. Right, let's have a look then at our depot. See which of those we can use. Ah, the Twin Sisters have their own unique group here within the depot. Oh, and it includes the two sisters. So the Lancashire Witch, 25-20. That's not a bad combination. And Stevenson's... Oh, this might be a slight text error. Yeah, we're not actually talking about the rocket yet, and it's not 1829 yet, not for another year. And it's the same for the two-chimney one. Okay, we'll let Steve know. So these descriptions appear to be out of sync with the actual model. So is there a difference between the two-chimney witch and presumably the single-chimney witch? Doesn't look like it, so it's probably just a stylistic, an aesthetic difference. We'll see that when we put them on the map. And the Twin Sister, 22 and 37. Oh, that's quite a nice, powerful loco, isn't it, actually? At 139. I like the idea of that. So what do we know about the Twin Sisters? Henry Booth decided it would be a good idea to put two boilers on a locomotive. And why not? We do not know to this day how it works. My goodness, these 19th century engineers were darned ingenious. They could come up with some quite remarkable and innovative designs beyond the ingenuity of modern man to comprehend. Well, I think this has got to be it, hasn't it? Now, on this particular loco we were looking at, which was the passenger loco, which was here, train number 6. So if we manage you, you are currently the Killingworth 1820 and a variety of passenger wagons. If I replace the Killingworth, which is currently going at 20, 13, yeah, modest speed, not very powerful, whereas the Twin Sister, a bit faster and a good deal more power. I like the sound of you. Get rid of you, put a Twin Sister on there. That's 103. Ooh, I can probably afford to put another coach on there. We've got lots of passenger demand now, so I think another coach is well worth it, is justified. The open coach carrying 8 people, the fancy coach carrying 4, or the slightly faster closed coach. Yeah, I think the first class coach will be best for this. Yes. And it's cheaper, keeps my costs down, so we'll put you on there. That gives me another 4 passengers, so we'll modify you for only 200,000. Well, let's have a look at our Twin Sisters in action. Oh, maybe it's not beer after all. What a lovely looking locomotive, and again a very compact design for the locomotion. We're getting the energy from those pistons, from that steam. And again, we've got white smoke now. Maybe this is the age. The 1820s, the late 1820s was the age of white smoke. Wonderful. Oh, and you've stopped. Yeah, I've got a bit of single track here and the much slower cargo train going up there. I might fix that in a minute, actually, and put double track down here properly. But while it's paused, let's have a closer look at this beauty. Okay, I kind of missed the bright red wheels, but I suppose not every locomotive could have that. Oh yeah, looking nice. Oh, and there's 3 people running this one. That must be 2 engineers, 2 firemen to keep the boilers working, and a driver to make sure it operates correctly and conforms to the signals on the rail and goes in the right direction. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's move out a little bit further. And he might take off in a moment. There he goes. Lovely piston action going on there. Awesome. So that's our twin sister. Let's replace this fuel train here. Bring you up to speed. You're only going at 15, but again, that's because the wagons I'm using. I'm not going to go much faster actually, because I'm going to probably, to save myself money, keep the same wagons on there. Okay, let's replace you. So we have steam locomotives. We are currently running, again, the Killingworth 1820. We'll put an ordinary witch on there, shall we? First off, so we'll add you. There you go. So that's our train 4. So this is the single chimney. Ooh, you sound quite different. The single chimney Lancashire witch. Very similar design, obviously. So presumably the twin sisters was a variation upon the single witch. Wonderful. So we'll let you pull into the station, earn me some money. And what we'll do is replace you with the 2 chimney witch. Just compare and contrast the 2 locomotives. So that's our single witch. So if we manage you and edit you, and I think to myself, I like nothing better than a double chimney witch. So we'll take that one off, put this one on instead. Oh, and absolutely 2 chimneys. Splendid. And again, oh, we've got the two-man operation. Oh, that's very smoky. The 2-man operation. Let's get up close to you, shall we? Again, fabulous design and engineering, and indeed modding. And there's our 2 chimneys, belching out black smoke. So yeah, yes, just looking at these. Interesting that this has got the 2 chimneys here, but the single boiler, presumably. Is that? Okay, so where's the coal then? I don't know. If you know, then please do let me know in the comments below. Be lovely to get some insight into how these things worked, if anyone still knows, apart from Steve, obviously, and a handful of other rail historians. Yeah, excellent. So we've got that, and we've also got in the background there the twin sisters. Which, yes, I mean, is that what it actually looked like? It must be, otherwise it wouldn't be here in this pack. How did that work? How did that... the fuel lines, the water, the steam, and all the rest of it. Curious indeed. Well, as our locos move back and forth, we'll carry on until 1829 and see what delights emerge in that year. Here we are once again at the end of the year. We're about to turn into 1829. And we have the rocket. It has turned up. Going at Hull and rocket type locomotives. Yes, no, in this, and we also have the Victory. Anything else turning up in 90? I've done it again. In 1829? No, that's it, just the 3. You're still one of the old locomotives. Let's have a look at changing you out. So you are the Killingworth 1820. Yep, indeed you are. That's you there. So 20 miles an hour, 13 kilowatts. We're familiar with that. And rocket type locomotives. We have just the one variant at the moment. So in 1829, this is the basic rocket. Participating in the Rainhill Trials to establish if steam locomotion was a viable means of transport. I have a suspicion that was proven, but it is indeed viable. So who else do we have here? We have also the Victory. Again, it looks like, yeah, a bit like the Royal George and the Chittaprat, which is a dual tender kind of operation. Again, it's looking like the 060. So sister engine to the Royal George with minor improvements over the predecessor. In which case we might replace the Royal George perhaps with the Victory, and we'll put the rocket in the place of this old Killingworth. So we'll take you away. We will have our rocket put in here. Yeah, you're a bit more powerful, a bit faster, you're good, and 28 miles an hour. Excellent, so we can now start using that larger capacity of cargo wagon because we're getting a good speed out of our locos. Awesome. So could I actually do that? So we've got a capacity of 24 at the moment. Unfortunately, these wagons don't carry very much. Yeah, which is annoying. What about these ones? These carry much the same sort of quantity. So we're carrying fuel here, aren't we? So we want the children. Which one carries fuel? Oh, we don't have a tank wagon. We have the flatbed or the tramway. Okay, we'll take the covered tramway. Can I get 24 and afford it? I can. 463,000 to replace that old Killingworth with a rocket and more capacity. There we go. And how are you looking, my friend? Ah, yes. And they've got the proper hats and everything. Awesome. They're still getting boiling hot steam pumped directly into their faces. But other than that, everything's fine. Everything's perfect. Absolutely. A lovely looking locomotive. And the iconic yellow colours of the rocket. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? There you are. Again, the barrel of beer on the back. Maybe that's water. I don't know. I've no idea. I should stop saying stuff because I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to how these things actually worked. Lovely shiny. Is that copper? Surely not copper. That would melt or something, wouldn't it? Or brass? Maybe it's brass. Yes. Looking very good indeed. Oh, stopping for the other one to come back. Yeah, all this single track working. Ah, and I did say I would also replace the Royal George, didn't I, with the Victory. Right, we don't have much money in the bank at the moment, but I think we should have enough to change this vehicle. It is that one, the Royal George. Yeah, we'll take you away. So we'll take the Royal George out and we'll put in the new one, which was the Victory. So if I replace you, you are more powerful. Oh, I'm not sure I can afford to do this then. No, I can't. Bear with me a second. That's it, just take a little bit more money from the bank and we can probably put another wagon on there. We're only going 15. Well, that's fine. It's got the power to cope with it. And there you are. Oh, it's a nice green colour. I like that. That's a very handsome locomotive again. So more powerful than the Royal George. The Victory comes in a whole new colour scheme. Which reminds me, are these recolourable? That hadn't actually occurred to me. But let's see, can I recolour any of... Well, can I recolour this one, for example? Can I make you a different colour? Like orange. Oh my goodness, I can. But it is a little bit ghastly. It is supposed to be carrying fuel. Oh, it will be carrying fuel, yes. Crude oil, rather. So it would be dangerous. It would be flammable. So that red colour is perfectly natural. Oh dear me, yes. That's something else. Okay, I'm not entirely convinced by that recolouring, so I'm going to change it again, I'm afraid. No, I can't do that. That's just wrong. So where's the colour? Let's change that to that lovely dark green, or a lovely dark green. The thing is, actually, I'm not changing the colour of the locomotive. I'm changing the colour of the entire consist, as you can just about make out there. It was more visible on a bright red, obviously, or the orange rather. But yeah, that's slightly easier on the eye. And so we head on into 1830, and this will be pack 3 of Steve M4's set of 3 packs of mods. The Arrow. We have the Comet. These are all 022 locomotives, I think, for the LMR, London Midlands Railway. Is that what it is? Could be. The North Star, 30 miles an hour. The Phoenix, 40 miles an hour. Wow, there's a lot of... And another rocket, 28 miles an hour. A Wildfire. And a generic rocket for you to use for whatever reasons you want it. Oh, and some more wagons. Oh, and passenger coaches. This is the 1830 pack, the final of the three sets of mods. And there are a couple more locos at least that come out a little bit later. In 1831 we also get the Northumbrian. And in 1834 there is a rebuild of the Rocket that is made available. And that is the conclusion of the sets. That's all that's in there at the moment. Anyway, I was going to replace this one. So I'm going to take some more money out so I can afford all this. So what are we going to replace you with then? So we've got the various Rocket variants, including the generic. After the success of the Rocket, a few more of the same example were ordered. They were called Rocket types and were delivered in early 1830, although many didn't make it past 1832 before being scrapped. As this whole slew of new options illustrates, the pace of development must have been fairly rapid as the technology for steam locomotion took hold. So yeah, we've got all these here. Okay, so we want something reasonably powerful. So if I sort these by power, and the Trevithick comes out. Oh, I'm sorting in reverse order. So the Victory is the most powerful. We've already got that one in use. The Rockets. These are... Ooh, you're quite powerful. 52. You go at 40. You cost me 189. Let's do the Phoenix, shall we? So we will replace you with that. And can I replace you the cargo units as well? So the 1830 rolling stock for cargo. That's fine. And this is going to be barrels, isn't it? You carry 3 to 7. Okay. Don't know. Okay. Yeah. The generic will carry everything, carries just 4. So what will the barrel wagon carry? It doesn't tell me there. We have to wait to find out what the capacity is. And that takes me up to 600,000. Okay, we'll do that. 42 capacity, that's fine. You're going that much faster, which is lovely. And this is the Phoenix wagon in operation. And these lovely double barrel wagons for carrying liquids in. Two very well dressed young men driving the thing. Can we get a close up? Oh, and it's got a suitable nameplate on it as well. Awesome. Well, we'll let you carry on with your work, I think. In the meantime, I want to upgrade my passenger service. Are you just arriving in King's Oak? You are indeed. So what can we do with you? You are currently a twin sister with a maximum speed of 22. Can I replace you entirely then? I think we'll do that. So what locomotive have we got? We've got a top speed. The rockets go the fastest at 40. The Comet. Why not use the Comet? Yes. Okay, you go 35. Actually, how fast is this track I've got down here at the moment? 34. Okay, so putting a 40-mile-an-hour loco on there is a little bit silly, a little bit redundant. So we won't put the Phoenix on there. The Arrow. Yeah. Yeah. We could put the Comet. No, we'll put the Arrow on. A little bit cheaper. There you go. And some passenger wagons from the 1830 rolling stock. We'll put a third class coach on there. And a red one. Yeah. And a second class coach. Yep. We've got some different colour first class coaches. We'll have another second class. Can I afford all this? Yes, of course I can. And we'll have a yellow one in first and a first class red one. Lovely, all for less than $1 million. So how does the Arrow look here? These are all lovely. Oh, I could have chosen. Could I have chosen some different second class coaches? Never mind. All looking very nice indeed. So that's the Arrow with a whole rack of 1830 passenger wagons. We'll let you take off and head on back to Century Falls. And I will actually say that's it for this video, and indeed for this series. Now that all the sets have been released by Steve, you can find them on the Steam Workshop. Just look for Early Rail and you'll find 3 sets of mods, as we've seen in this series, and you can try them out for yourself. If you can't find them just by searching, then there's a link to my collection where they're all listed in the description below. And I will say thank you so much for joining me for this short series looking at Steve's early rail mods, locos, rails, wagons, even signals, as we saw there. Glorious. And thank you so much to Steve for allowing me to have a look at this prior to their official release on Steam, play with them and see how they work and show them off to you. If you've enjoyed this, it'd be great to hear from you. A little bit of a like would be lovely. Even better if you've got any thoughts, if you're planning to use these locos, these mods in your game, then please do just write a note in the comments box below. And of course, sign up to them, subscribe to them on Steam, and say hi to Steve while you're there. And also, while you're here, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, you could do that now, and that way you'll know when I upload any more Transport Fever 2 videos, or indeed any of my other Let's Play series. But from me, Ajaxpost, here in Transport Fever 2, looking at Steve M4's early rail mods. Until the next time, bye bye for now.